Wow. That song you were singing was the greatest song that I've ever heard in my life. But
Cranking it like a hog.
You weren't
Or
supposed
was
to,
it
actually.
cranking it? Or no, wait. Well, shit. How'd it go?
Straight up cranking it.
Crank it. Oh, that was it. Crank it like a hog. 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 Something like that.
Or it was 6 feet from my hog and I cranked it. Now you're asking, well, does he have a very large penis? Does he have an extendable cranking device?
Extendable penis. Hold on. That's a song, isn't it?
Detachable penis.
Oh, detachable. Oh, but you can buy a penis extender.
Of course.
On Amazon. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned about that in the sexual psychology classes. But that's one of the things, you know?
This is gross to look at.
Oh, the extenders?
Oh my God. Ew.
What if your partner has a fetish for, something that might not be human? What if your partner has a fetish for something that's much larger than what you have, but your partner still loves you? But just the simplicity of your penis size is just not. It's just the chemistry isn't there, but it could be if you were an extender.
A lot of these are pretty normal, standard looking. What you think of when you think of a penis. As you do often. Yep. But some like one of these in particular is just disgusting. It's just weird looking, man. It's just.
I believe you.
Why is that the model that you chose to base it off of? Anyway, guys,
that's a deep dive. We just spelunked extensions. No, detachable penis is the song. It's like by King Missile or something.
Is. Yeah,
something like that. That song, when I discovered it when I was in a freshman in high school, I thought that there could be no higher art.
I mean, it's pretty great.
I woke up this morning with a bad hangover. And my penis was missing. And I was just like, oh, what is this story? And it's not bad, sonically either. But it's with the monotone vocals and everything. Shout out Allie, Allie Middleton. A friend of the podcast. Yeah, it was either her or a mutual friend of ours. And I wouldn't be surprised if she showed it to him and then he showed it to her. But
it is interesting what like a major record label was willing to bankroll back in the day.
Bro, major it's so crazy the amount of trust that just they put into art. You know what I mean? No. Even though a lot of people were shelled, there's a lot of horror stories, but it's just you trusted this and you heard this and you were like, some A&R was just like, yep, I like that.
This is it.
Sign it. We're going to put it out. Now, got a song called Detachable Penis. And then talent is discovered, and you know what else is discovered, Rob? Besides your skill of beatboxing? The next Rozelle over here.
Yes,
Rob Zell.
Oh, did you see? Did Nostalgia Pit repost or give any shine to the beatboxer who did the 6 feet from the edge? I did a dubstep beatbox remix of that song.
Okay, hold on.
Why with your considerable skill and talent, is that the thing that you would choose to do? It's very interesting.
No, what you said and sent, it was to me, and I saw it, and I reacted with a crying face. No, I did not repost it.
Oh, well.
So I'll post it later, okay?
God damn,
Keep an eye out on the social media after
for
this
man's fucking effort.
It was talent. There's a lot of talent involved, I'll tell you that. You know what else was involved? Yeah,
very interesting.
The ability to do it was amazing. Did I like it?
I mean, what is there to like about it? Other than the fact that this man is incredibly talented, and that's cool that he can do that.
Talenti.
That's the thing, man. You can do a lot of things, but then sometimes you ask yourself, but why would you use all your talent and skill and time to do that?
Yeah. That's what I hear certain solos of music where I'm just like, or, certain subgenres of jazz.
Yeah.
I'm just like, y'all are extremely talented musicians. And like, to me, when you hear, I know that there's like, this is a something that they do in certain subgenres, but when everyone's soloing at the same time or multiple instruments are soloing at the same time, if it's more than two, it's like, bro, like, I don't know. It's a lot.
I love that shit. Like New Orleans jazz where everybody's just doing their own thing kind of, but it all is harmonious somehow. Fucking awesome.
If it's harmonious, if all of them are cognizant of harmony and have a good enough chemistry, can be great. But if you have ego involved is when it's dangerous.
If the chemistration is right.
Yes, the chemistration. And speaking of whatever's right, I had transitions. I tried to do it earlier, but we're just doing intros. Okay? So that was a cold open. I'm sorry. It's all over. Greetings, listeners. Welcome on into the Nostalgia Pit, podcast aiming to dissect pop culture, subconscious, and other psychological phenomena through a hyperbolic and prismatic lens. Hosted by Rob Snow, I'm Colin Castor. Theme songs produced by Golden Beats, and the Nostalgia Pit is available all the places you can find a podcast, including YouTube. Visually speaking, that's right. You can see some faces. You can judge our outfits. You can make comments on skin tones and how washed Rob is on a scale of 1 to 10. Because, that may or may not come up, at times. Luckily today it's not, but I mean, he's currently washing out. He's bathing at this moment. This is a digital bath that is happening in front of my face. And if you wanted to see what I was talking about.
Want a tan.
You can go to the YouTube. That's right, youtube.com/nostalgiapit. Pretty sure that's the URL. If it's not, you can find us. Just search us. But today, we're doing some things and some stuff, okay? I got a little limited recall action. I have just been on the tip of watching a lot of old movies, okay? It was the 4th of July. I wanted, it's summer. I decided, Selena, I think, had some work, so I watched like 5 or 6 movies that I hadn't seen in a good while, and one of them obviously was Under Siege that I talked about last episode, the Steven Seagal film. But there was a couple other ones that I watched that I figured we could talk about, and then also I wanted to do a bit of a Probin Time because I was talking to my dad, and he was looking at Google Maps of the Portland area, right? And he saw a street. And the name struck him as familiar because he went to an elementary school with the same name, okay? And so he was like, oh, it must be named after the same guy. So he looks up, who's this named after? And I happened to be on the phone with him while he was doing this, and we got to talk about it, okay? We got to talk about the discoveries that he made past to me and that have been assembled by other people, but seem to be forgotten about. In an age of cancellation, right? Of cancellation of historical figures, of reassessment, like what we do of a limited recall, right? We look at media that we haven't looked at for 10 years plus and kind of rejudge it, through an adult lens, a psychological lens, a hyperbolic lens, and all of the above. And so we're going to look at this guy, okay? His name is William Selby Harney, okay? You probably haven't heard of him, and that's okay because most people haven't heard of him. But, sometimes people are drunk. They're drunk, and they do things, and, people forget about it, and their name just sticks around, and maybe we should scrub those names. I don't know, but, I'm just going to ask some questions. I'm going to make some statements, and I'm going to read some things, okay? But we're also... I don't know, we're going to do some other things. I don't know, probably talk about some other stuff. Maybe get paid, Maybe the music will stop. I'm not sure. I'm not the DJ. I didn't do that. Did you do that?
No.
Okay. Well, someone did. Someone turned off the sound, okay? Because I don't know, the music stopped at a certain point, and I don't really know what to do.
the younger Franco, Dave. I saw a preview
Juan
for a
Franco?
movie that he's going to be in called Idiots with Ice Cube's son, I think. And
Dave Franco.
Davido Franco. And it looks really funny. And I'm seeing Dave Franco turn into Sam Rockwell, I feel like, in real time.
He's
turning into Sam Rockwell.
What you're doing, I know you're not a sports person, but what you're doing is you're seeing a young star that just got into the league, right? And you are excited about their potential. And you are thus projecting a career and being like, this guy's going to be better than LeBron James. He's going to be the next Kobe Bryant. He's going to be bigger than Michael Jordan, right? But like, you're not doing that in this instance. But what you're saying is like, this guy right here, he's the next Clyde Drexler.
No, he's just like in this preview of this film, he's just doing a Sam Rockwell he's doing a Sam Rockwell type character. And like, he could be a good character actor.
It could be. But you said, I'm just saying, what you saw was a preview of a movie.
Right.
So you didn't see the movie.
No.
And you saw a preview in which he was doing a Sam Rockwell-like character, something that he perhaps hasn't done before. And in your mind, you're saying that he could be the next Sam Rockwell. Thus, you're projecting
No. He's just turning
future.
into Sam Rockwell,
Well, but turning into Sam Rockwell is a great thing because Sam Rockwell is a great character actor and a great actor. Yeah,
one of the
right?
best. Also, I need to see Have Fun, Don't Die, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I heard that was good. I was actually at a theater and a bunch of people walked out of it, and the reactions, I was like, I'm going to go see that.
I'm going to go see that. I bet it was a box office flop, which, guys, No Five Talja.
No Five Talja.
Upcoming.
Rob, what's No Five Talja, though?
No Five Talja is a very important podcast that just came out this year. It's about the top 5 best things of all time.
Of all
or worst things.
Time.
Or our favorite things, according to us. Okay. And this one's going to be about box office flops.
Can I say something that I observed? Because, spoiler alert for the audience, we are yet to record that. We're going to record that at a future time. One of the things I observed is that you look, at a lot of these lists of box office flops, and you could tell that almost everything after a certain point is just a flop. You could just assume if that movie came out after 2020, it's a flop. And
unless it's a fucking Marvel movie or a Pixar, but even the Pixar movies aren't necessarily going to
exactly. Like
be a success.
Flops, it's flopping like tilapia. It's something that happens in the box offices, but it's more often than not nowadays. There aren't many movies that recoup their costs.
It's really hard to get an in-theater, a box office success. I mean, like Mickey 17 was a fun, adventurous, new take on sci-fi.
Yeah.
And you saw it in theaters. Not a lot of people did, didn't do great.
This is just the times, though. I mean, part of it is that, post-COVID, obviously. And then part of it is that the economy. In this economy, you want me to pay $13 for a ticket? Plus the fact that the popcorn costs $13. If I want a drink, it's $8.
I mean,
what am I going to do? That being said, one of my favorite things these days is watching old movies in the theaters, the re-releases. Obviously, they went to TMNT 1 and 2, right? Of the 35th anniversary of them. Another 35th anniversary coming out in a month, okay? In the month of August, one of the summer blockbusters that may or may not be on the No 5 Talja summer blockbuster list, okay, that we did a couple episodes ago, may or may not be there. But one movie, 35th anniversary, coming out next month will be in theaters, and I suggest you go because I was too young to see it in the theaters. Selena got to see it in the theaters. I doubt saw it in the theaters. Maybe you did. Maybe if you did,
what is it, dude? You son of a bitch.
It's Terminator 2.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that.
I did, yeah, exactly, right?
In theaters. I mean, I've seen it like 8 times, but...
Yeah. 1992. I'm a big fan of watching old movies, even if you've seen them in the theater, getting the theatrical experience and stuff like that. And I often will see, I'm going to go see The Odyssey probably this year.
I know. I mean, it looks good to me. It's got a lot of controversy all over the fucking internet, but
I'm not reading anything about it. I'm not reading a thing about it. I haven't read a thing about it, and I haven't watched the previews. I saw the teaser.
Yeah, that's all I've seen too. Yeah.
And so that, but like way back in the day, like over a year ago. And at that point I was like, I'm in. Okay. I liked the source material. It was one of my favorite books that I read when I was a kid. I loved the Greek mythological stuff, big fan of a lot of those stories.
Hell yeah.
And I was okay. I was like Christopher Nolan, he's had some whiffs. He's not
perfect by any means. No. You know what I mean?
But he can do it, and he can make something that's
good. He can do it well.
And so I decided that I wasn't going to look into anything. So the only things I know is that Christopher Nolan is directing it. It's based on the Odyssey, and that Matt Damon is in it. And that's all I know. So don't tell me anything.
Matt Damon. Sorry.
Thank you for doing that, because then I don't have to go seek the clip out. You know what I mean? Which is more work for me. But that being said, we're talking about movies. I feel like we should probably just slip into limited recall first, and then I can do the Probin Time a little later. So,
Limited recall.
So like I said, I watched many a movie, recently. Watched, this one wouldn't really count for a limited recall because it hasn't been 10 years, but I watched Independence Day again.
Oh, and on July 4th, Melanie was like, do you want to watch Independence Day or National Treasure? And we watched National Treasure because I haven't seen it.
Okay, because I haven't seen National Treasure either. But I watched Independence Day, and there were some things that I remembered about it, obviously. But there were some things like with them showing the scope of the aliens and these long distance shots of destruction and stuff like that I didn't really remember as much. I remembered a lot of the dialogue and things like that. But they did Roland Emmerich did a really good job of showing scale and the massive destruction. And then at the end, they're all like, yeah. And it's just billions of people, probably 2 billion people dead at least, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably 2 billion people dead.
Easily.
All the massive cities, So I watched that. That was good. I watched another movie that I wanted to talk about because it works perfectly for the concept of ruining your childhood, right? The initial beginnings of the podcast, you see the little logo up in the corner. The Nostalgia Pit was once called, for those who are new to our show. When we first began, it was called Ruining Your Childhood, The Pitfalls of Nostalgia. And one of my goals, because at the time I was a massively untherapied individual that was trying to figure out things. I was trying to figure out my own childhood shit. So what I wanted to do was start a podcast talking about things that people loved when they were kids that were actually really shitty or pieces of shit or kind of fucked up or stuff like that. So because I had a
really
bad childhood,
do that much though.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, because no, because ultimately it was about hanging out with friends and just talking about shit, But I think when I think about that, it's I was upset about my fucked up childhood, and so I wanted to fuck other people's childhoods up retroactively, like time traveler style. You know what I mean? I was gonna warp back.
Oh shit!
We didn't really do that, but the darkness that comes with some of the things from childhood. Obviously, we did a review on what was it? Return to Oz and things like that.
Yeah.
But, so I watched the 1995 film Jumanji. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
With Robin fucking Williams.
What a fantastic fucking movie.
Man. When was the last time you'd seen Jumanji?
I haven't seen Jumanji in fucking 25 years.
At least, right? It had been a long time. Yeah, and it was one of my favorite movies. Robin Williams is one of the figures that is the foundation of my sense of humor. Probably top 5. Robin
He's
Williams.
got a frenetic energy. He's always improvisational.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
And there's two more in there somewhere. But either way, Jumanji is a film that came out in 1995. It was based off of a 1981 kids picture book.
A picture book?
Which
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a story, it essentially follows the same thing. Kids are playing in the park. They find a safari-themed board game. They read on it, very important. Once a game of Jumanji is started, it will not be over until one player finishes the game, is what they say in the movie. And then in the book, it was like reaches the Golden City. But I don't even think that they, maybe they illustrate the Golden City at the end, and that's how you win. But point is, once you start the game, you can't stop. And so I remember, going into this movie thinking about, okay, lots of animals. It's a romp, obviously. You've got Robin Williams. You've got, digital monkeys. You've got David Alan Grier, who's hilarious in it as the cop. And I always liked him. He's fucking amazing.
I'm going to have to look him up because I don't remember.
David Alan Grier was from, I want to say, In Living Color. He was one of my favorites from back in the day. I used to watch In Living Color all the time.
Oh, yeah, David Alan Grier.
Yeah. He plays the cop in it, right? And so the movie essentially, breaks down, and it is pretty, it time travels, obviously, but it starts in 1969 as a young, very spoiled kid. Robin Williams as a kid. His dad owns the town, or is like a very, very wealthy, probably racist dude from, New Hampshire.
For some reason, this movie is the first time I heard the term slacks or trousers. I can't remember. There's another name for pants, and it was the first time I ever heard it.
Okay, yeah, because
I don't know why that sticks in my head, but there you go.
It's the little things, right? You were hella young. You were like, oh wow, okay, that's what you can call that. But the movie technically,
and I know it is tragic because the fucking the kid's parents are dead or something.
Okay,
and so he's been trapped for like 30 years in this fucking jungle world,
bro. Like the actual like realities of what happens. Okay, so it all technically starts out in like the 1800s, and these kids are burying Jumanji and being like, no one can ever find it again, and they're like obviously traumatized. They just got through the game. This is in like the 1800s or whatever. Then it flashes forward to 1969 New Hampshire. They're building a new factory, or there's some construction going on. And so the little kid is biking to his dad's shoe factory because his dad makes shoes.
That's right.
And there's this whole subplot where David Alan Grier's character, young, knows the kid and is like being, a nice mentor to him and shows him this new sneaker that he invented.
Oh yeah, right.
Like Nike or something. It's going to be for their Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell, or I can't remember which player that he says, a great basketball player that's going to use it. Then the kid sets it on a conveyor belt, and then it fucks up, and then the dad fires him.
Yeah.
And it's, all bad. Either way, kid goes home. He tries to bike home, but he gets beat up because he's being friendly with a girl at school, and the girl is dating one of the bullies, and so they all jump in.
Makes sense.
And so he goes home, and then the girl comes over to apologize. But meanwhile, after he gets beat up, he gets beat up. They steal his bike. He has to walk home. He walks through the construction site. He hears the thumping of the drum. Dum, 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 right? And then so it's the game luring him. He gets the game, goes home, gets in a fight with his parents. His dad wants to send him to a boys' school. And he's like, why? Because, it's going to help his character and stuff like that. They get in a fight. He tells his dad he never wants to see him again.
And then he never does.
And then girl comes over, she apologizes, and then she hears the thumping of the game. And he's like, you hear that too? And so they go over, they pick up the pieces fall out of the hand. They don't even try to play the game. The game automatically is like, you're playing. Okay. It has a mind of its own almost. They're like, and the bell rings on the Godfather clock, and then the dice fall out of his hand. And that's the first roll, right? First it's like bats or something like that, that come through the bell, and then they hear that. The second roll is little Alan fucking getting sucked into the jungle. And it's like, until someone rolls a 5 or an 8, you're in here. You're in Jumanji. And then he proceeds to get genie time warping just like blurred into existence, like through this hole in this game. And this girl is watching and she's like screaming and he's like, oh my God, what's happening? And then the bats, because they had just heard them. And then the bats come out and they chase her out of the house. And then it proceeds to flash forward 30 years. And the house has been empty for a long time. And now it's been purchased by a woman whose parents had just died in a car crash. So like the little kids in the movie,
that's what it was.
Their parents had just died in a car crash.
Yes.
And
right.
What's her face? Kirsten Dunst is great in this movie, but she's just fucking with people by telling people that like their parents died in hella like horrific ways and stuff like that. And so she's just talking, like joking.
Dark sense of humor to cope with the trauma.
Very dark sense of humor. So, we've gotten little girl getting traumatized, dude getting sucked into this thing. Now we've got this girl joking about death, muy muerto. And I was just like, man, this is kind of dark, like straight away, right? And then whatever happens, the kids find the game, okay? The kids play it. They end up getting Alan out of Jumanji.
Alan.
Damn it. I should have had that on the board. Damn it. I didn't even think about his name.
Alan.
Yeah, you just got to do it every time that I say his name.
That's all I think about anytime I hear the name Alan.
So they play and now what is it? Like 42-year-old Robin Williams jumps out of there. Maybe he's like, 39 or whatever. He jumps out of the board game. He's wearing palm frond, like clothing and stuff like that. He's got a huge beard. And he talks about like how it's like, he gets hella scared. There's a lion in there. He scares the shit out of the kids. He figures out that his parents are dead. And by going to the factory and seeing that it's all decrepit and stuff like that, his parents who used to run the town. And so I told you, he was like, hey, I never want to see you again to his dad. Well, his dad took that to heart, obviously, and blew their entire fortune looking for the kid.
Oh, shit. And he ruined everyone's lives. God damn.
And so then both his parents are dead, right? And so all of that's bad. The entire economy of the town now, like it was a bustling, happy, like, this is set in 69 when it starts. But it was pretty much like a 50s town. It's like beautiful and like, everyone happy and, like cop on the corner, like doing the whistle, letting the traffic go through, waving at everyone, just all this shit. Now
it's perfect for white people.
Perfect for white people. White haven, right? Now it's graffiti everywhere. There's homeless people, things are getting broken, raided. Everything's all bad. I was just like, damn, dude, this is kind of dark. And then so they go and they have to get to the girl because they realize that they have to play the game. So they have to find adult girl. And she is just like, yeah, I have gone through thousands and thousands of hours of therapy. And like, it's just like, hella, like straightforward. She's like, I've gone through, like, everyone thinks I'm insane. Like, it ruined my life. Wow, and like everything about it's all bad. She doesn't want to play the game again. I was like, man, this game is dark as shit.
This game is like almost like a curse in a way. If you think about
and
it.
Then chaos ensues.
And then they turned it into a video game, and the fucking Rock and Kevin Hart got stuck in there, man.
Well,
God,
and then I was so I haven't watched that one. But point is, this movie, was a lot darker than I had remembered.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. Like a lot of those kids' movies back then had really dark undertones, but that's like a good thing. Like, I feel like you need that shit. It's a way for kids to like experience darkness in a controlled setting in a safe way. You know what I mean? Simulate those things.
Yeah. And then they watch it later and they're like, wow. Like, we were at this 6-year-old's birthday party, Selena and I, a little while ago. And
you were like, you ever heard of death?
Well, we were like, what do we get? We asked his uncle, like, what is he into? What you got to get him a present. And Fuzzy Wuzzy was the answer.
What?
Are you familiar with this? Yeah. And so
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't bare. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
No. I'm sorry. Not Fuzzy Wuzzy. It's
I was going to say.
It's like a super terrifying teeth creature.
Is it like a plushie with the disgusting dentures?
Yeah, with fuzzy Wubby or something.
Those are awesome, dude. My homie Joe's got one of those.
Wubby teeth toy. No. It's I don't know what it is, but either way, it's like kind of fucked up, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about, though. They probably sell them at like Archie McPhee's or something.
Well, you might be thinking of Fuglies, which are like
is that not
which isn't the same. This is like a horror thing, and it's based off of a video game, and it's like a super terrifying like gonna Killy Willy. Oh, hold on, let me look up Killy Willy. Killy Willy is one of his alter egos or something like that. Hold on. Killy Willy. Killy Willy plush, Killy Willy.
Oh, Huggy Wuggy. Yeah.
Huggy Wuggy. So what did I say? Fuzzy Wuzzy? See, that's what I'm saying. This is my dyslexia where sometimes these things like
that was our childhood, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, Fuzzy Wuzzy, it's not now it's Huggy Wuggy. But point is we like
so can you like press a button and it turns into the disgusting version, or
no?
How does it work? Because there's like
I don't know the lore.
There's like a cute version of it.
Yeah, well, kind of.
But then
with the teeth,
there's a terrifying version of it.
Yes. Well, Killy Willy originally was Silly Billy, and then he turned into Killy Willy. So that's the thing. And then Huggy Wuggy. So this is all based off of like some weird video game.
Is this Roblox?
Game Tunes.
Oh, Game Tunes.
Game Tunes. No. Yeah, maybe Game Tunes. Yeah, is what it says. But he's tall, slender. He's a really creepy character. He has teeth that like he definitely would like tear a kid up. But like we get to the store. We went to the Lloyd Center in Portland. And they're gonna, rest in peace. Maybe by the time this comes out, they're about to tear it down. It's super sad. But we find this like terrifying fucking creature, and we're like, oh, this is what kids are into. But then you realize, yeah, like all the dark shit. But I feel
that we were into, yeah.
That we were into, but also like this is just like straight horror stuff, But I mean, all of the kids were they were like doing this karaoke from YouTube that was like a 3D animated fuzz Killy Willy or whatever. I don't even know, dude. I'm old. Man.
I don't know, man. Yeah, what the hell is fucking Game Tunes anyway? What is any of this?
I don't know.
It's so interesting because back in our day, all right, to be an old man here, we had cable or satellite television or comics, books, right?
Yeah.
There was like a limited amount of media that we could really, and also distribution methods were a little fewer and far in between. So if I knew something. You know what I'm saying? If I knew a character or something and I was in love with the character, you probably know who that character is. However, nowadays, like what the fuck is even going on? Is this a YouTube? Is it a game? Is it a YouTube series? Is it like, what is it? I don't know. Did it come from a website? Like, where the fuck is this from? I don't know. Because it's like people are just, it probably came from Roblox maybe. I don't know.
So it's a game called Poppy Playtime. It's a 2021 indie survival horror game.
See, that's the thing, bro. Like nowadays, kids are into all sorts of random shit from anybody on the internet.
Yeah.
Like my nibbling like is into all this random shit I've never heard of. I have no ICP? Well, yeah. Well, they're different.
Have they discovered
they like older shit.
Well, I was going to say, have you talked to them about the Great Milenko? Ask them what they think about the Great Milenko.
I'm sure that's like what they're into in the first place.
Yeah, but just like they'll think you're really cool because you ask about it. You don't have to like it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't have to like it.
And you could just zone out when they're talking because hopefully they'll like be really into it and then they'll just go off on their excitement and then you just like space off into a bubble.
And then also when you're trying to like, I like to look up an image search of whatever we're talking about and just get an idea of what it is. But looking up Huggy Wuggy, it's impossible to determine what the fuck it is because there's all this like fan art and like YouTube mini series and indie games and like, what the fuck is it, dude? I've never heard of this.
Because I guess, we're on YouTube so I can... people are going to look at things. Look at this picture. Like, this is the fucking terrifying shit I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Poppy Playtime, right? Where it's got a mouth inside of a mouth, but it's like it's a little, it's a creature that's like a Slender Man teddy bear, like really disproportionate with really big lips, shark teeth, and just like fully dead black eyes.
This is like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of ripoff, maybe, or
exactly. I think it's a spinoff of or a spinoff of the popularity of that. Because the kid did like Five Nights at Freddy's, apparently. That was like, you know, one of the things that they were into.
There's this Roblox horror game. What is it called? Oh, Dandy's World, that my nibbling likes a lot. And it's like, you know, I don't know. It's got all these like little characters, and it's supposed to be like a cartoon studio from like the 40s or 30s, you know. I don't know. It's, you know, it's just random shit, man. Random ass shit. Kids are into random shit.
So a couple little facts about Jumanji, though, real quick. It was filmed in Keene, New Hampshire. And the Parrish Shoes sign is still on display there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Robin Williams was given the key to the city by the mayor in 1994.
All right, let's not go crazy, man. That's a little crazy.
I mean, it is a little crazy, but you know.
Also, what does that key get you? You know,
the city. You know,
you can just enter that city at any time, day or night.
At any time, you got the key. It's like almost like you're a resident. Do you have to pay taxes? That's my question. While in the city.
It's like, you gave me the key, man. I'm not fucking paying you taxes. You out of your mind?
Out of my mind. Well, Jumanji, all I can say is that it was a lot of fun to watch again. It still holds up. It's one of those that, like, you can watch movies that you liked as a kid and it doesn't hold up because it's not adult friendly, you know, layered perhaps. But this one, I feel like, you know, it was rompy.
But it had some layers to it, huh?
It was an adventure. And then, it was dark. And then, I mean, there's this r/movies on Reddit post from a year ago. That says Jumanji is dark as hell. Everyone's parents are dead. Robin Williams was stuck in the game for 26 years.
Yeah.
The young girl goes insane. David Alan Greer's dreams are dead and he has to become a cop. The nice town of the 60s becomes a ghost town filled with homeless people and drug addicts. And most of the stores on Main Street are porn shops. The evil villain actually is the main character's dad. That's the other thing, because not everyone plays multiple roles, but one of the things that happens, they roll the dice and it's like, you know, there's a hunter that comes out of the game with an elephant rifle and shit.
And that's his dad?
And it's played by his dad. This same actor plays both his father and the villain.
I didn't know that.
And it's just, yeah.
All right. Can I try something out real quick?
Do it.
Just to see if you can tell what's going on. Okay.
Tell me.
All right. Do you hear these drums? We got to figure out where these drums are coming from. I don't know, T. I think... Oh, shit. I fucked up Chris immediately. Damn it. I was going to try to do a Chris Multisanti talking to Tony. I don't know, T. I think the board game's haunted, T. I don't know. I'm trying, man. I'm trying out Chris Multisanti now.
Playing Jumanji.
What are you trying to tell me? There's going to be animals that come out of this board game?
Nah, it's not. That's a bad Tony. All right. Forget it, man.
See, now what I need you to do is, after you perfect it, I want videos where it's you playing Tony, and then, you know, it cuts to the other one and you're in like a hat and you're Christopher. Or no, it should be you in the white tank top.
Christopher, I need to play this game with somebody else. I can't play this game by myself.
I don't know, T. I heard animals come out of this board game. I don't know.
Do it.
Trying.
I'm ready. You know what we're going to do now, though? Just like Tony would want us to do?
What? Eat gabagool?
Eat gabagool and get paid so we can eat more gabagool.
Oh!
Hey man, you wanna go to Rockaway?
Oh, bro. Yeah, I would, but feel real unconscious with my shirt off. My areolas are just way too big.
Oh man, that sucks, bro. That's why they have the disposable nipple.
What?
For this kind of situation.
No way. What's that?
That's right, disposable nipples, man. You just attach it to your chest anytime you're feeling down.
So it'll make my nipples smaller?
No, it'll make them bigger.
Oh, but they'll look better, right?
They'll look a lot better.
Well, okay. Well, that's good.
They'll look way better. It's a disposable nipple. Disposable nipples, the kind you can eat, organic, fair trade, biodegradable, in case you don't even want to eat them. You can be found at your local Star Mart.
Non-corrosive to your skin.
BPA free, organic.
Has-Chode is a certified B Corporation. Disposable nipples, good for 52 hours. Why 52? I don't know. 52. It says on the package. Disposable nipples, the kind you can eat when you are done with them sometimes.
Sometimes. Listen, I'm glad these guys are paying us, but they should have put more money into the production of the commercial instead of the distribution of the commercial.
Well, that was the thing.
I'm still interested in the product, so I guess it worked. But
well, that was a commercial from season 1. Okay, so it has been over 6 years since they produced this. Disposable nipples, they eventually sold to Nabisco and are a subsect. And interestingly enough, you'd think that they would want to coin out more money or be willing to coin out more money for advertising, but they, they said they didn't really mind and just do the old thing because they're just selling so many that it doesn't even matter.
Okay. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. I guess they got a strategy.
Apparently, every single nude beach, from here to Tijuana is packing with disposable nipples. Okay, 52 hours.
Wow, the fact that you can eat it when you're done sometimes.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because I can look good and then be satiated by
I want to know
my looks.
I want to know what conditions are necessary for you not to be able to eat it, because you can only eat it after you're done sometimes.
Well, I think my guess is that the sometimes is maybe that you had them on for 53 hours and that they can't guarantee them. You know how shelf life packaging, a lot of the time, it says like best buy date. Those dates are often like a week before the food's really going to go bad.
I never give a fuck about the expiration date.
Because it's a liability. So, they don't want to be held liable. They'd be like, oh, well, you ate it afterward and then it got moldy, but they don't want the mold to go anywhere closer to the date because that's more of a risk. So etc.
Oh, I get it.
This is similar. This is so 52 hours may or may not, like people may be like, it's been 60 hours. I've been out partying. I was doing a little Molly last night. I've been sweating. This disposable nipple looks really good.
Let me take a taste.
My question is, can I get the nutritional facts? How many electrolytes per nipple?
Right. What's the fat content? Like, what's the, nitrates count?
Well, I hope it's not too fatty because then the oil will mess with my skin. Hopefully it's got vitamin E in it and maybe some aloe or something.
What? How much protein?
Ooh. Dude, disposable nipples, we'll contact them.
And maybe they could give a protein-rich nipple.
Protein, extra protein, creatine nipples. $1 million idea.
I like
we
that.
are ranking in the bank. Hey, disposable nipples. Has-Chode. You know what I got to say? With the product, you got to hurry up.
Come on!
Get on it. You know what I mean?
That sounder is never going to get old. Let me tell you.
Come on!
Come on. Okay, so let's get into this. We did the limited recall, last week.
Limited recall.
And I was supposed to do the new Probin Time sounder, as Blockhead said, Probin Time. If you want to jump on the acoustic now and just play it, you could too, Probin Time.
Oh.
Time to probe the people with a segment that we call a probe. I know who I want to probe me home.
All right. You ready?
I know who I 1, 2. Cat's like, what are you singing that loud for?
Probin time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Probin time. There you go. Is that good enough?
I liked it. Yeah, no, that was good enough. The irony, of course, is that you are frozen. You were frozen on camera like the whole time, but the audio will come through, after it's
You
edited.
didn't even hear
But the camera glitched out super hard.
The thing is like my computer is like on its last legs. It's barely able to compute anymore.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It's just old, man, and I'm doing too much with it. I'm doing way too much with it. But now I can't open like 2 tabs at the same time and have it do its thing.
Sounds like we need to get Robbie a new computer.
I mean, luckily for us and everybody,
what?
Computers are more expensive than they've ever been. So luckily, and I'm making less money than I've ever made in my entire life.
Wow, that's a great combo.
Pre-18 Rob.
Wow.
So lucky for me, I'm fucking screwed. Absolutely 100%. Unless I go get a regular 9 to 5, in which case I can't do any of the stuff that I've been doing with my computer. So,
You know what I got to say to
it's
that?
all good.
Come on!
Everything's working out perfectly. I've made some good choices in my life.
Woo!
I know who would want to hear some Probin Time.
I would not want. I know who would want to probe me home. Okay, so there's a place in Southeast Oregon. Okay, in
Eugene.
Southeast Portland.
Oh,
it's not actually Southeast Oregon. It's North Oregon. Southeast Portland. It's called Harney Park. Okay,
Harney.
it's on a road.
Harney Park.
It's on a road called Harney Avenue. Okay, so a couple places that are named after William Selby Harney. Okay,
What a
That's right,
fucking
his middle name
name.
is Selby.
God damn.
Selby, Selby. So we got Harney Park here in Southeast Portland, Harney Road, or whatever it is, the Harney Channel between Orcas and Shaw Islands in the San Juans.
Oh, shit.
Harney, Nevada is a town. Harney County, Oregon. Harney Lake in Oregon. Harney Street in Omaha, Nebraska.
Goddamn.
Harney Peak in South Dakota. More
What
on
the
that.
hell, bro?
Harney Point in Cape Coral, Florida. Lake Harney in Central Florida. Harney Sports Complex in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Harney River
He's
in
all over the
Everglades
fucking map,
National
bro.
Park. Yes, he is.
Okay,
I am naming
I'm gonna-
all of these things individually because they all should be changed. Their name.
I'm gonna make a just a guess in the dark here, a shot in the dark here. This man was a colonizer, and probably a white supremacist. Okay, what's good? Is he a Confederate too?
Well, you get a point for each one of those that you get. How about that?
Okay.
And how many points? Keep track of them.
Okay.
Harney Peak, by the way, in South Dakota, was later renamed Black Elk Peak in August of 2016. So one of these things has done what I am saying should be done. And I'm not one that's like, hey, we need to change everything. We need to scrub identities and stuff like that. But also, certain things need to be, taken off.
So
of
you
want to
torch our heritage and
I'm gonna
destroy
torch
our
it.
history, and
I'm gonna burn it down.
let's just throw all the history books into the fire, huh? Is that what you want, dude?
Come on!
Okie dokie.
So point is, Harney's this is how I got to know who Harney is. Okay. So luckily there's a little organization, the National Park Service. Okay.
I've
I
heard
don't
of
know
it.
if you've ever heard of it. NPS.gov. Okay. And they did a 2-parter on Harney. Okay. And I was going to write up a piece and stuff like that, but I figured we could just go through a little bit of what they did. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of it because they broke it down better and more succinct and more honest than a lot of the other places. There were some places that don't mention certain things.
Getting honesty on a .gov site is rare nowadays.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, it's a lot of the stuff got scrubbed. You know,
that's why fucking Trump's administration hates the Park Service so much because they're telling the truth over there.
Okay, so William Selby Harney. Born in a small town in the outskirts of Nashville. Okay.
Okay. It's a little bit of a singer-songwriter.
All right.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, he has a bunch of stuff named after him. They're saying a modern re-examination of him reveals a leader who disobeyed orders, committed acts of racist violence, and used political connections to escape consequences for disobeying chain of command and mistreating soldiers. Nonetheless, exploring the problematic record provides a better and truer understanding of our past as a whole. This is what this says. So, Harney was close to the future president Andrew Jackson.
Oh, God. Okay. So that guy is a piece of shit.
Not a good start. So Andrew Jackson, at the age of 17, arranged for Harney to join the Navy, but Harney didn't want to, and he wanted to serve under Jackson himself. I don't want to. And so my point right away, Jackson is helping him out by like, hey, join the Navy. No, I want to do this. Okay. This is going to be a theme that is going to continue throughout this person. He wants to join the Army and act as a lieutenant immediately, right away in the Army, just immediately ascend to the rank of the lieutenant.
Yeah, that's what he wants. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. And so other officers apparently were impressed by Harney's appearance and demeanor. And then
that's not a good thing to base anything on.
He was described by Confederate President Jefferson Davis as, quote, physically the finest specimen of a man I have ever seen.
Gay.
I don't have a gay sounder on here, but you know.
All right.
I could do this one.
I'm about to Baja Blast.
I could be. For that. So Harney had a bunch of different duties that he did from the U.S. Army. Within a few weeks of his joining, he led an anti-piracy task force that targeted famous pirate and buccaneer Jean Lafitte. I think is how you pronounce his name.
I'm sorry. Jean Lafitte's a fucking hero. All right? We're not going to fucking talk shit about Jean Lafitte. All right.
Well, he was considered a pirate by the government. And
he
that's
was
why
a pirate.
He was driven.
Who gives a shit?
Well, the government did. And so they drove him out of Louisiana, and Harney was the one that did it.
Helped them fucking fight the French so they can suck a dick.
Well, you know, after he fought the French and got the French out, then he became the enemy. That's the problem.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
Well,
you know what? Actually, fuck Lafitte. Now that I'm reading about him. He's a slave trader.
Yeah,
he sucked.
A lot of the people from this time period, let's just, not say that they're good until we look into them. You know what I mean? Like maybe not name Parks after he spoke way too soon. You got straight corrected. Come on. So Harney also he helped to construct a bunch of stuff in frontier fortifications. Did a bunch of other shit. Okay, so he became renowned for his cruel temper, his high ambitions, and his use
renowned for his cruel temper.
High ambitions.
Have you heard of Harney? Oh, he's got a cruel temper. What the fuck?
And his high ambitions and his use of connections to fulfill that ambition.
Hey, those are horrible character traits to have
not a good
in the same person.
Combos. Cruel temper, high ambitions, use of connections to fulfill said ambitions.
Probably going to be a piece of shit if that's how you're going to be.
Once again, utilizing his friendship with Andrew Jackson, Harney gained a post commanding troops on a major expedition to map the interior of the upper Midwest and make diplomatic treaties with indigenous people.
I fucking called it so hard. He's a colonizer. I don't know if he's a Confederate, but Jefferson Davis has a lot of good things to say about him. So that's not a good sign.
So well, you got colonizer, right? What did
Definitely
you say?
a white supremacist.
Yes. So we got 2 points.
Like
100%. For you. And then the Confederacy we'll put on the edge here. Okay. He is from Tennessee.
I know. And if Jefferson Davis calls him a really handsome, sexy little daddy, that's a problem.
He said the finest specimen of physical manhood he's ever seen.
That's a sexy little daddy.
So he was sent to make treaties with the indigenous people.
Yeah, that's
during
not
that
gonna go well.
expedition, Harney successfully won one of 2 races with the fastest runner in the Crow tribe. Apparently, this is
sure he did.
Fathered a child with a Native American woman.
He definitely did that. I believe that.
He would later abandon.
Yeah, that's very easy to believe.
He got into an argument with his commanding officer that was so vociferous that Harney faced a court-martial for disobeying orders. Vociferous. V-O-C-I.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking word, dude.
Thank you.
Loudly and vehemently outspoken. Vociferous.
Yeah. Somehow I knew what that word was, even though I think I haven't seen it probably in a book since like 8th grade or some shit like that.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
Okay, so on his first outing, okay, once again, I don't know why one of 2 races with the fastest runner of the Crow tribe it was necessary to add, but once again, fathered a child with a Native American woman he abandoned and got in a argument with his commanding officer so vociferously that he got court-martialed. Then but nothing happens. While serving at Fort Winnebago, Harney saw a fellow soldier's dog uprooting a fort's vegetable patch and brutally beat the pet in retribution.
Man, that fucking bums me out, dude.
This is not his only act of public brutality at this post. Harney also violently lashed an iron miner who sold alcohol to his enlisted men. Once Harney's pride led to his own embarrassment when he decided to flog a Native American man who had broken a minor fort rule. Harney, recalling his race with the Crow champion, told the man that he would let him go if he could win a race across a frozen river. Prideful Harney allowed the Native American a head start and chased him with a rawhide strap in his hand. The Native American intentionally ran over some relatively thin ice, which would not hold the much heavier Harney, so then he fell into the icy waters, enabling his intended victim to get away.
Amazing.
So
I love that.
That piece of shit, but he didn't die.
Fucking stupid idiot. Well, I'm glad he was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. These incidents were a premonition of future actions that Harney would take. Okay. January 1833, Harney marries Mary Mulfani, daughter of reputed wealthiest man in St. Louis. Okay. Wishing to live near his new bride and thirsty for career progress, Harney called upon his old mentor, again Andrew Jackson, now president of the United States, for a promotion to major as the paymaster at the Jefferson Barracks, a large military installation in St. Louis. When a St. Louis auctioneer publicly mocked Jackson, Harney repaid his mentor by throwing the auctioneer to the ground. Though Harney's work often took him away from home, in 1834, the Harneys settled into Harney's wife's sister's mansion while their in-laws stayed in France. So he strategically married a very wealthy person because he's strategic and a narcissist and a piece of shit. So,
man, it bums me out. You could just be an asshole. You know, you can
not
just be
only
a piece of shit.
Back in the day, especially, people were really rewarded for just taking shit, unfortunately. Like,
yeah, for real.
Like, yeah.
But then they're going to be mad at pirates. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. So again, just calling up the president, being like, "Hey, I want to be a major. I'm gonna be a major.
I want to be a major.
I want to be a major. Okay.
Andrew, I want to be a major."
April 26th, 1834, 33-year-old Harney attacks a young woman named Hannah. Unable to find the keys in his in-laws' home, Harney blamed Hannah and beat her with a rawhide strap until she told him where the keys were.
This motherfucker, bro.
The torture went on for 3 days until she died at his hands. Word spread of Hannah's suffering, and at a coroner's request, it was ruled that Hannah came to her deaths by wounds inflicted by William S. Harney. This is 1834.
Bro.
Slave-filled St. Louis, Missouri. And they were willing to acknowledge how cruel he was to slaves. Like, think about all of the people that just like would they wouldn't even listen. Like, he had to do something that was so egregious that in 1834 they were like, "Yo, dude, that's a little much."
Yeah,
this is like the inspiration for Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
Dude. It's kind of insane that you could just own people and also beat them. But at the same time, like when I was in New Orleans, we took this like historical tour, and they were saying, because this woman was like just torturing the shit out of her, you know, I don't even know what word to say because slaves feels fucked up, but the people that she kept elite, you know, which should have been a human rights violation by all accounts. She was keeping people in her house and torturing them. Anyway, at one point, it like something happened where like one of the people that she decided was hers, ran outside, and she like started beating the shit out of him, and everybody was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that." So apparently the attitude was you can't mistreat the people that you're already mistreating to the highest degree. But anyway, I don't know if that's everywhere though, or just New Orleans. New Orleans was special.
I also think that, you know, degrees of separation. Remember when I asked, you know, who was a worse person? Was it like Bill Gates or Ted Bundy? You know, and it was just like based on degrees of separation for like the cruelties that they're technically been a part of. Right. But like that's an extreme example. And obviously Bill Gates is many degrees of separation behind it. But a lot of the people, if they didn't have to see it, right, like a lot of the cruelties of things were just, if it's behind closed doors, people aren't going to, they're not going to
same
question
nowadays,
it.
You know? Yeah,
exactly. So going on to Hannah. Okay. She was a young mother. Her 8-year-old child, Fanny, was almost certainly the product of the rape of her enslaver, John Mulvaney, Harney's father-in-law.
Jesus, man.
Even in slaveholding St. Louis, Harney's actions were considered shocking, and he fled his home for the East Coast to avoid criminal justice and mob vigilantism.
Yeah.
They were going to fucking string this dude up for his cruelty.
That's awesome.
Again,
I'm glad, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't solve the problem really, but, you know, that's great, I guess.
Harney was wise to flee. Shortly after he left, a mob assembled to pull down his house, and it required great exertion by his best friend to prevent it. They were already gone. The newspaper article from Cincinnati demonstrates how Harney's behavior was received even when slavery was legal. Quote, "A monster. A fellow," and that's all caps. "It has been stated by gentlemen who were on the coroner's inquest that from circumstantial evidence and testimony of individuals to Harney's own confessions to them, that this horrible act was committed under circumstances of peculiar barbarity and for successive days, and that the corpse of the poor creature exhibited a most shocking sight." It is said
I don't love the way
monster
that's worded. Jesus Christ.
No. It is said from the monster fled from the city, and that the citizens and peculiarity excited, having formed the resolution, you know, meaning that they gathered, having formed the resolution to take him into the bushes and kill him.
Yeah. Well, they should have, you know, but again, I wouldn't have solved the problem. That problem didn't solve itself until fucking, you know, the Civil War. So,
well, so Harney, he fled, like I said, to the East Coast. And where did he go on the East Coast? What do you think?
Virginia?
Close. Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
That's right, because he's going into politics now, ladies and
For
gents.
God's sakes. Jesus Christ, man.
He knows the president. That's right. He never suffered professionally or personally for his actions. Harney was granted a transfer away from St. Louis because of the public opinion against him there. Facing an indictment in St. Louis for the murder, Harney secured a change of venue into the circuit court of Judge Lawless, a renowned pro-slavery politician who acquitted
Judge
Harney of his
Lawless,
crimes.
get the fuck out of here! You couldn't write this. This is an insane.
Judge Lawless, a renowned pro-slavery politician,
dude,
who acquitted Harney of his crimes.
Fuck the government, bro. God damn, this country's a mess,
bro. Harney would continue to rise in the United States. You know, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I got a little bit more, but we're gonna go to a commercial in the meantime, because we got to break up the monotony. Because you know what we're doing besides doing a Probin Time? Okay, I know you sang the song.
It's Probin.
Have to hit that. But you know what we're also doing? We've done Slipped. Okay, we done Slipped. We've been here. But as you can imagine, anything you talk about with the history of the United States, right?
Makes me hate the fucking country, man. This is why they wanted to, you know, get rid of...
Want to scrub it.
They want to scrub it. They want to change the textbooks and shit. Because you read this shit, you're like, man, fuck this country, bro.
Bro, and it just makes it, especially, you know, you're not a sports fan, but the World Cup has been going on. There were a lot of people rooting for, you know, the United States team. I get it, right? Like, you know, maybe you've been following these teams. Maybe you grew up with some of the people, but the patriotism that, like, you know, like standing behind the flag, painting the flag on your face, doing all this shit. I'm like, bro, you guys look like Nazis from the 30s. Like, you know, like this isn't a good look at this point, right? But then again, a lot of people are ignorant to this shit and they don't really understand. But like, yeah, it's gross to stand behind this flag at these times.
I know who I wanna probe me home.
Probe it.
Are you in search of the meaning of life and don't know where to look? Are you just simply lost, like a kid in a grocery store and you turn around and your parents aren't there anymore? You were just looking at the bubble gum. You just wanted some bubble gum, and then you look around, you know, and they're not there. Where are they? Why would they abandon you? Why would they do that? Well, you might be asking for the answers to life. We are too. This is simply a commercial saying that we have no clue about anything. This is brought to you by the people who don't know anything about anything. And as the commissioner of the people who don't know anything about anything, I just have to say that I'm not really sure if I am qualified for this job or qualified to be putting this commercial forth. But needless to say, we are here, and we want to tell you that we hear your questions, and we too are asking questions. Confusion is a common trait. Don't be ashamed. We don't understand either.
It's good to know that, you know, like not everyone out there doesn't know everything except me, you know?
I guess, is that the service? It's just letting you know.
Was it a service?
I don't know. What is that?
I'm confused. Something about that confused me.
I guess they just paid a lot of money to let everybody know they don't know shit. That's cool.
It's for the people who don't know anything about anything.
Is it a book? What is it? I love it.
You tell me. I'm confused.
I don't know, man.
I'll tell you that. Well, part 2 of our National Park Service expose of William S Harney.
Park 2.
Park 2.
Park 2.
Yeah, so W.S. Harn, okay? Once again.
Fucking what a piece of shit. Just
what an
thoroughly.
Absolute piece of shit.
Almost everyone in the government at that time and right now, actually, is a piece of shit.
It's not looking good for anyone that's trying to justify this person having things named after them,
Like, dude,
or anything else.
Rename these fucking streets, bro. This guy's a murderer. He's a fucking white supremacist. He's just a piece of shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, though, he's a fucking murderer and a pro-slavery guy.
Yep. And it's not over yet. Okay. In this one, we talk a little bit about what his role in the Mexican-American War.
Oh God.
It's more of his treatment of Native Americans, his rise in the U.S. military, and then what he did during the Pig War of the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if you know anything.
He was part of that?
Yeah, he was part of it. 1937, Harney was given command of the Seminole War. Okay. Down in Florida, a campaign to expel indigenous people from their Florida homelands.
Fucking great. Jesus Christ.
That's literally what it was. So this is the government telling you to go and remove these people, no matter the cost, do whatever. So for several years, Harney's men saw little combat, mostly patrolling and maintaining military outposts. But following an ambush of his forces, he disregarded the established norms of warfare to gain vengeance.
I'm not surprised at all. This guy sounds like he would do that. Yep.
Harney promised freedom to an enslaved man who then served as his guide. And during his pursuit, he and his troops disguised themselves as Native Americans. While Harney watched from a treetop, his men snuck into a Seminole camp and hung 8 men at the top of a tall tree. Their wives and children were all forced to watch. Harney let his soldiers know he approved by cheering from the top of the tree that he was watching from. Harney's next command was in Oklahoma, where he went to, he was appointed commander of Fort Washita, an outpost created to mediate between the Chickasaw and Choctaw people who were violently and forcibly relocated during the Trail of Tears. The southwestern tribes whose traditional homeland they now lived in. So you have 3 different people all being forced to live in the same area, and then you have some white people that are supposed to negotiate this and be like, hey, everyone get along, just get along. You're all, just gaslight the shit out of them so they can figure this out.
Right. This was a fucking playground for psychopaths. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. He got enraged that a couple people did not want to dig a latrine. Okay. And then apparently someone insulted him. And he grew enraged by their insolence, grabbed the dude's hair, threw him to the ground, and thrashed him with his cane, causing wounds that left O'Brien in the infirmary for a week. He then ordered the other guy to be shackled with a ball and chain and fitted with a spiked collar, which he had to wear during 27 days of hard labor. At this time, Harney also owned a group of muscular male slaves who he enjoyed provoking into fistfights with his soldiers for fun.
This is Leo DiCaprio's character, dude.
Yes. I honestly think that Leo found this dude and was just like, this is some
good God, man.
But also, the fucked up part is this is not the story of an individual. You know what I mean? There were, I'm sure, a lot of different people.
Well, that's the issue is you could get rid of this motherfucker, but the systems that allow this kind of behavior and incentivize this kind of behavior still existed. So it wouldn't have solved anything. Although it would have been very satisfying to see him get decapitated. Yeah. With a guillotine.
And also, while the systems might have been in place to allow that kind of thing, maybe the next person wouldn't have been this fucked up in doing it. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Psychopaths have no fucking sense of consequence. Also, obviously he has no self-reflection, abilities, but it's funny that somebody was insolent and he fucking got so mad that he put him in the hospital, and then he's like arguing with his commanding officers and shit, not seeing a problem.
Yeah. So these violent activities led other officers to complain that Harney's, quote, arbitrary and unmilitary conduct, end quote, was not keeping in with good order and military discipline. Harney was subsequently court-martialed on June 6th, 1845. Then he defended himself as being merely, quote, naturally boisterous while serving my country to the best of my abilities, end quote. Harney was convicted and sentenced to a 4-month suspension, but Winfield Scott, the highest-ranking officer in the U.S. military, suspended Harney's sentence because he thought it not sufficient punishment for Harney's vicious habits, although he found no way to dismiss Harney from service. So
I'm confused by that. So his sentence was dismissed because it's not enough.
Because it wasn't enough.
But so I don't understand. So they're just not going to punish him at all. They're like, actually, what you did was so fucked up. Yeah. You're free to go.
Yeah. Essentially, like, if we're to cut out the bullshit in between, right? The bureaucracy of that. That's
Like, what the fuck does that even mean, dude?
Yeah. So they couldn't kick him out. So in 1846,
why not?
United States,
why not? Why could they not do that?
They found, quote, no way to dismiss him.
That does not make sense. Other officers are like, this guy's unofficer, like unmilitary, like he's breaking conduct, blah, blah, blah. He's like beating his fellow officers for absolutely no reason. He got court-martialed twice. How the fuck? I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah. Again, so you can see why I was so baffled to learn that this park that I bicycled by, 5 times a week, probably,
is named after a fucking psychopath.
After a psychopath who tortured it's insane. Okay. We're not done yet though. Okay. 1846, U.S. prepares to invade Mexico. Harney was given a frontline command, but disobeys direct orders, crossing the Rio Grande and attacking Mexican forces before other troops had assembled.
That is so dangerous, and the consequences of that could be like unimagimaginable.
He faced another court-martial. This is his fourth
That's really doing a lot, so that's good.
Where he was found, he's found, quote, guilty of disobeying direct orders, but once again escapes any punishment. Nothing happens. He's found guilty. Nothing happens.
He's just such a big, strong, handsome guy.
Then he earns accolades for bravery in combat. However...
What?
I don't understand. But during the occupation of Mexico City, he sparked an international controversy for his handling of an incident involving 2 American citizens who had detained Marie Courtine, a French citizen accused of assaulting the Mexican wife of an American. That's a fucking...
That's like a 3-country...
That's a soap opera-esque like connection, my brother's mother's auntie's nephew's cousin's nephew's mother,
So like, 2 Americans detained a French woman who was accused of assaulting a Mexican woman who was an American woman's wife.
Or was it was the wife of an American man. Yeah. So then Harney told the Americans, "This is my backyard. You can take them in and do with them what you please. I shall not interfere." The French ambassador complained directly to the American president, James Polk, one of the biggest pieces of shit in president history, if I recall correctly, who reprimanded Harney for his actions. So
could he be worse than Andrew Jackson? I don't know.
No, I don't. They're all bad. Like, name me a good one.
I don't know what Polk did or didn't do. I don't know that there's really a good president. Maybe Jimmy Carter's the closest thing.
Yeah, touche.
Perhaps.
JC.
I don't know enough about him though. I could be talking
He was the last environmentalist president and the only one that we've ever elected.
He was maybe the chillest, I don't know. I could be wrong.
After the Mexican-American War, Harney and his soldiers forcibly disposed indigenous people who lived in the newly conquered territory. While pursuing I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, the Lipan and Caddo people in the winter of 1853, Harney ordered his troops to, quote, exterminate all the men and make the women and children prisoners.
What? That's some Old Testament shit, man.
Yep. In 1855, following a confrontation in which the Brule band of the Sioux Nation defeated a U.S. Army detachment that had invaded their village and opened fire after they refused to surrender their tribal leader, Harney was promoted to the rank of brigadier general.
This motherfucker was promoted, bro, after 3 court-martials.
He was then commanded to, quote, operate against the hostile Indians, end quote, so that the settlers heading west could safely build farms and ranches in indigenous land.
God, I hate this country sometimes, man.
Sometimes. As Harney prepared for combat, he hoped, quote, to attack any body of hostile Indians which I may chance to encounter, and hoped that by separating Native Americans from their families, they would be obliged to surrender themselves or incur the risk of starving. On September 2nd, 1855, Harney and his troops reached the junction of Blue Water Creek in the North Platte River, where a village of 250 people stood. Harney marched his men by the night and positioned them to ambush the residents of the people. By 4:30 a.m., Harney and his men were in place as everyone slept. As day broke, Harney and his soldiers neared the village. The Native American leaders, Little Thunder, Spotted Tail, and Iron Shell, approached Harney, hoping to arrange peace or at least buy time for their women and children to flee. Harney refused to talk. Even after the village elder, Little Thunder, displayed a white flag, Harney refused to shake his hand and told Little Thunder that the day of retribution was upon him and his people must fight Harney's men. As Little Thunder returned to his village, Harney ordered his infantry to charge while the cavalry blocked any possible retreat. Harney's men fired upon them, Native American women and children, hid in a small cave in a rocky gorge. Harney, however, was proud of his actions. After the battle, he alleged to have said, I have come to kill natives, and, he didn't use the word natives, and believed it is right and honorable to use any means under God's heaven to kill them. Kill and scalp, blah, blah, blah. Like he said some more
appealing to
shit.
Fucking God, obviously.
Yep, doing it all for Jesus. The Sioux people have given Harney the nickname the Butcher, the chief who swears in the wake of the violent massacres. Apparently, he gathered all the women and children into that cave and shot a cannon.
Oh my God.
During and after his lifetime, Americans have honored William Harney's legacy by naming multiple places after him. One such place was Harney Peak, the tallest mountain in South Dakota, which was later renamed Black Elk Peak after a lobbying campaign led by Native American historians. However, many places still bear Harney's name in San Juan County, Washington, Harney Channel between Orcas and Shaw Islands. In Oregon, Harney County, Harney Lake, Portland's Harney Street, Harney Park, they all pay tribute. Across the river from Portland and Vancouver, Washington, that's where Harney Heights, Harney Elementary School, both commemorate him. Harney, Nevada, Omaha's Harney Street, Florida's Lake Harney, Harney Point, and Harney River. All of these places change the fucking name. What in the goddamn hell? Why do Native people have to be the ones that come through and try and voice this shit? This is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, for real.
It's so fucked. My blood is boiling by the end of this. This isn't a very happy nostalgia pit episode, but this is the fucking reality of the country that we come from. Man. And these are the people that were revered and had shit named after them.
And I have to wonder, so I can't even say that. I was going to say, I have to wonder, was it because of a propaganda campaign? Because, he was a brave military officer who got commended and, was friends with the president. But then I think about Andrew Jackson. I mean, he's revered. There's all sorts of shit named after him. His face is everywhere. And he was an absolute piece of shit. His actions were so disgusting. It's this is a right-wing conservative Christian country. That is what it is. I know me and you and a lot of people in it want to change that. and make things different. But that's what the fuck it is. Like,
yeah, but Portland,
like Andrew Jackson is a beloved president. His name is everywhere. And he was a slave-owning, genocidal psychopath. You know? And Harney's name's everywhere. He's a psychopath. He's a slave-owning, genocidal, murderous psychopath. Like, that's what the fuck this country is.
Yeah. It's just imagine, like, right, you got all the capos of the mafia and stuff like that, but like literally Harney was like the dude that was a fucking enforcer and just like have a bunch of shit named after him. And a bunch of people aren't going to like really realize it, but this dude is at the front line doing like a bunch of the fucking most fucked up shit that he could.
Right.
So part of the reason that I think that he is kind of revered or whatever, or like his image began to change and maybe people forgot about things, is that Congress established the Indian Peace Commission of 1867, and then Harney served on that commission. So who do they get to serve on the fucking...
Why?
Bro, like the person who's treated them like absolute shit. But apparently... During the councils, Harney became the defender of the American Indian. He stressed their need for food and clothing. He later was placed in charge of an administrative district known as the Great Sioux Reservation. This included all land west of the Missouri River in present-day South Dakota.
Now,
so
is this because of a change of heart, or is there some sort of ulterior motive behind his actions here? Because what the fuck? I mean, he was like an old man by the time he was like gunning women and children down in that village.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, he wasn't a young man at that point. He was probably in his like fucking 50s at that point, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could be like, well, he was a young man and didn't know better. You know, nah, he knew fucking better.
This man lived to be 88 years old. Okay. He lived a full life. Once again, Harney is known by the people of the Sioux Nation as Woman Killer due to his actions at the Harney Massacre.
As he fucking should. That should be his name. That should be his fucking name.
Initial reports stated that 86 natives were killed and 70 women and children were captured. However, that was not factual. More casualties were found. Teepees were found, looted, and burned by the Harney's troops. You can only imagine some of the things that they went on to do. So, yeah, Portland, Oregon, a city that is supposed to be forward-thinking.
It's not.
And
it's
yet
a white
possesses... It's a neoliberal white supremacist haven, okay? Yeah. You know, what had happened was the story that Selena talked about was about how non-racist skinheads, anti-racist skinheads had to come through and drive neo-Nazis out. Oh, that wasn't in the 50s. Nope, that was in the 90s. Okay. Right. And like, you think that they just disappeared? Of course that they didn't. Portland
was a sundown town. You know what I mean?
Portland was a sundown town for a long time. Okay. Portland is a town that has businesses like New Seasons that tokenize people of color, trans people in the LGBTQ plus community, and they will not promote them, and they keep them on the floor because they have to represent the quirkiness of Portland. We have to tokenize these people, but we cannot actually like honor them in any way, shape, or form. What they want to do is they want to change Cesar Chavez Boulevard because he abused some people. And I'm not going to justify the actions of another person. But
I don't know what actions Cesar Chavez took in that regard,
I haven't looked into it. I don't know. And like, maybe they were false allegations. Maybe they were not false allegations.
I know the work he did to, you know, promote the rights of his people.
And laborers, yes.
Yeah, which
was important. There's a reason that like cities, you know, all over the West Coast have a avenue named after him, places named after him. You know, like. But my point is that I heard this person's name in the news recently because of some allegations of abuse of women that were not good, right? And so people were talking about how they're going to have to change Cesar Chavez Boulevard and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, why don't you fucking change Harney Park before you go to get around to Cesar Chavez
again? Thank you. And that's all I'm trying to say is like, we are in an area that is supposed to be like ahead of, you know, the time, you know, and like, yeah, Florida, change the name of Harney Park. Like change it to something else. like the Blue Water Lake, whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, the fact is that like this person is an absolutely heinous and horrible person that literally with his bare hands killed hundreds of people, and his orders led to the murder of like hundreds more people. Like, what are we doing here? We're like literally celebrating people who are like the committers of genocide.
I know.
It's like, why don't we name it after the 4 horse of the apocalypse? Like, what, you know, like Satan fucking Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
why don't you call it Woman Killer fucking Park if you want to do that? Call it Woman Killer Park if you want to keep it in honor of Harney, you know? See how that feels. I don't know, man. I know people are complicated. I know people are, you know, people are complicated. You know, people do bad things. People do good things. You can't boil them down to like single actions, minute moments of
this
slices
isn't just
of
one
time.
action.
But
we
like
went through a lot of actions,
bro. This guy did not oppose
years.
Systems that oppressed and you know, dehumanized people. He did not choose to go a peaceful path when he had the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, he chose violence every fucking time. That was the thing he wanted to do, is choose to be violent and terrible.
And maybe he turned a new leaf at age 67, but the fact is that he chose violence for 67 years prior.
And he never was held accountable for any of it.
He never was held accountable for anything. Like, literally zero accountability. He was allowed to die like in a peaceful retirement, like in Orlando, Florida. You know, like he literally went to fucking Florida to retire, just like all the old white people love to do. Right. And it's classic. It's just, it's unfortunate. It's classic. You know, I didn't want to, you know, talk about all of the negativity, but sometimes we got to slip into darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Slipping in the darkness.
That's right. We might get flagged for this usage and then not
probably
be able to make money off this video in Hong Kong, or you know, it's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
When we use the properties, it like tells me where I can't make money, or sometimes
like, sorry,
it's banned
dude,
in like
Thailand
certain areas.
can't watch this fucking
exactly. Oh shit,
video.
Really fucking that one up.
But
what do you say?
I don't know, man. It's tough because the left is just like easier to break up into pieces because, you know, right now, the president of the United States is somebody who is not an alleged sexual abuser. He is liable for sexual abuse by the courts.
Yeah.
And he's also in the Epstein files all over the place with all these allegations. He had a fucking, there's no, you know what I mean? There's no end to it. He's a terribly abusive person with his words. You know, he is a very selfish and he's just a terrible person. Definitely sexually abused women, like did. And, you know, the right don't give a fuck. You know, they're just like, well, he's our guy, and that's what it is. Cesar Chavez was somebody who upheld certain values and fought for certain, you know, progressive outcomes that would help pretty much everyone, not just like his people, but everyone.
Yeah.
And because there's allegations, it's like leftists are like, all right, well, fuck, like, I guess we can't fucking care about this guy anymore. And it's like, that's a testament to being like actually according to your values, you know, and having integrity. But at the same time, it's just, there's no way to win in this country as a leftist because there's no such thing as a united front. Because the minute there's an allegation or there's some controversy or somebody's a flawed, complicated character, it's like, you got to distance yourselves. You know, I don't know, man. It's tough, bro. Because it's not right. If Cesar Chavez did the things he's accused of, that's not right. And we shouldn't be like glorifying that. But our fucking president is a sexual abuser and he's a murderer. Like he killed little girls in a school for absolutely no reason. And he's getting away with it. He can just put out an executive order and do whatever the fuck he wants at the highest position of power. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's priorities, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want to highlight, like, it's a common deflection, right? Where you try to address someone, you know, like, let's say people are in a relationship, right? And they haven't gotten any confrontations. They're just past the honeymoon phase, but someone's doing something that, you know, annoys the other person. And so like a very, very common reaction, be like, hey, you know, would you mind not, you know, chewing with your mouth open? Like the lip noises, like the ASMR stuff, like really kills me. And like, rather than a person to be like, oh, I'm super sorry about that. Like, it's a very common thing to retaliate and just be like, oh yeah, well, your face is ugly. You know, or, you know, like,
well, you do all sorts of shit I don't say anything about.
You fart in your sleep, you know, like you leave fucking hair in the sink, you know, like, just go on a tirade of a bunch of things that they've been holding, you know, whatever, right? You know, but it's just like, it doesn't justify the initial action to just be like, oh yeah, well, this person's fucked up. Well, this person's more fucked up. You know what I mean? Because then you're just trying to like one up each other on fucked upness. But it's like, just because there's someone like Harney that's out there doesn't mean that someone that's just come out here committing, you know, simple fucked up stuff like on a much smaller scale is okay, right?
No,
like
absolutely not.
Like those actions don't justify you being abusive to your child over here just because, you know, someone over there exists doing something similar. I don't know.
It's just tough when you've got like an entire, like, you know, political faction who's like, oh yeah, you can be a violent psychopath. That's cool. Oppressing other people and like dehumanizing them, putting them in cages, like dropping bombs on them. That's fine, actually.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fight that if your personal values is like, wait a minute, did you just say a word that dehumanizes somebody? I'm sorry, I can't fuck with you.
Part of the
how do you bridge the gap, or like how do you fight against the people who are like, oh yeah, you can be like a fucking child rapist. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do you form a fucking political unified front against that if you have values of any fucking kind?
Well, I'm not a political scientist, and I'm certainly not someone that can solve these issues. But what I can say is that it's very easy for people to make a judgment based off of a singular action. And some actions are so big that, like, yeah, you need to judge them.
You mean like murdering a person after torturing them for 3 days?
Yeah, like, you know, or, you know, maybe like murdering lots of, you know, people that were like trying to literally come out with the white flag and like talk.
Yeah.
You know,
or like holding women and children up into a cave and then shooting cannons into the cave.
Or like taking a piece of rawhide and like beating like a woman that you've like, you know, tied up for 3 days until like literally slave owning other people in your town are like, whoa, dude, I think you went too far. And then they excommunicate you from the city to which you never go back to. Like, maybe those actions speak a little louder than words, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I think that a certain word should be removed from certain places. And that's all I'm saying. You know, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, maybe I'll get support, maybe I'll get backlash, but you know, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm insane for having it. Okay.
Call it
maybe I'm fucking crazy.
You know, Bridge Park. I don't know. Whatever,
dude. Anything. Green Park.
Oh,
come on.
Evergreen Portland Park. Yeah.
PDX.
See, Portland
fountains.
is a good town name because there's nobody attached to it. You know what I mean? It's just, there are ports there.
Well, you know the story behind why it was named, right?
No.
Portland. So 2 dudes discovered it. One from Portland, Maine, one from Boston. Oh. and when I say discovered it, I mean that
I know
the first white people that showed up. Yeah. And so they flipped a coin, and it was going to be either Boston, Oregon, or Portland, Oregon.
That's so funny. Okay.
We're real close to being fucking Boston.
So the people who showed up had no imagination.
No.
They had no creative
New York,
ability.
New Haven, you know, like, and then like you'd think that like, oh, well, what are these other like names? It's like most of them are just like ripped off from like the native people that they fucking took the land.
Most
from,
Northwest names are just
not even just Northwest. It's like a lot of
that's true.
Midwest.
You're right.
Like Oklahoma, Nebraska.
Dakota.
Like, I'm pretty sure like all like Dakotas. Like all of those names. I'm pretty sure Texas is a native term. California, I think, is a native term.
Yeah,
like
probably
Arizona, New Mexico, obviously. Colorado is definitely. I'm pretty sure Utah is. Like a lot of the fucking nation is named after the fucking people that they murdered. And they're like, oh, we're gonna pay them respect. Give them a name.
Yeah, that's true.
Well. I had another limited recall, but we'll save it for another time because, that went on. Okay. We did it. I don't want to hit the button, but we did it. Okay. We completed a task. It doesn't feel very celebratory.
It doesn't feel
like
great at all, but yeah.
No, it feels kind of like,
I'm beginning to not enjoy being American, I mean, at the very least, there are lots of good jobs here that pay very well.
Yep.
And at least, owning a home is not that big of a deal. And the education system is doing a really good job. And healthcare is fantastic. So there are those things going for us. But a lot of the other things in this country are kind of starting to bum me out a little bit.
And that's why, I do things in the morning, like I go on a bike ride and either just listen to the sounds of nature before people are out or listen to some music.
I just cranked my hog until it's raw and then doom scroll.
Straight. That's not going to bring you joy. Okay.
What? That's the only coping mechanism I know of. What are you talking about?
Coping mechanisms don't bring you joy. They just delay the inevitable. If you're taking
I'm sorry. Have you ever cranked your hog before? You don't think it brings you joy? You're out of your mind. I'm sorry. You're out of your mind. You're wrong.
Come on!
I fucking listen, man. I've been a little depressed lately.
Hey,
this
you're not allowed to do that.
Helping me.
You're not allowed to. Have I ever told you that? You're not allowed to be. I don't know if we've ever had this.
People have told me
formally.
that for sure.
You're not allowed to.
I do what the fuck I want. So
you know what? You know what you should do, and what I'm prone to depression too. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm impervious and I have all this shit together. I go through. We go through moods. You're a Gemini. I have Gemini in me. I'm a Gemini moon or some shit like that.
I'll put
right?
some Gemini in you if you want.
All right.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do. Come on!
Come on!
Point is, Geminis, right? We get it, right? With two sides, okay? You're not always, you burn bright when you burn bright, but sometimes, that takes extra energy. My point is that you need to listen to some music, that brings you joy. Because what it brings me joy is the music in a headphone variety. And so that's what we're going to do is we're going to listen to some music here at the end of the episode. You know what I would play if they were friends of the pod? I would play if they were friends, but they're not, so we're not going to play it. But I don't know why it's not considered just a 3-6 Mafia album, but Project Pat and
Juicy J. Oh, yeah. I saw that
together, but it's out. Project Pat is like all over it on like every track. When Gangsta Boo came on, I was listening to it riding around this morning. When Gangsta Boo came on, my eyes rolled back in my head.
No, that's what's up. That's fire.
Right.
I didn't know Gangsta Boo was on that.
Well, I don't think she's credited, but it's something about the first verse that you hear from someone who passed away. You know what I mean? Like an artist that you loved that died, and then a verse surfaces on a project later. Like that's some shit. You know what I mean? That was the first verse that I had, like new verse of hers that I'd heard since she'd passed away.
When did she pass?
A couple years back, she died like of a I want to say like a fentanyl overdose.
Oh no,
like
you gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah, she like collapsed on her porch after an OD or something like that. And it was super fucking sad. Yeah, dude. She's one of my favorites.
Jesus.
Arguably my favorite female rapper of all time. But like Gangsta Boo fucking crushes it. Mask on My Face is one of my favorite tracks of all time. But either way, what I would play
it's probably laced cocaine, man. Fuck.
Yes, for real though. For real. And that's in the Juicy J record. He talks about fentanyl strip testing his fucking weed because he wants to make sure.
Right.
And I was like, and that's the thing. Like it could have been fentanyl laced weed. Because
Huh?
I don't
That's
think
a
she was
possibility.
I don't think she was dabbling in like friends of
Well,
hers
I
were
just
saying that,
looked
like,
it
she was
up and
getting
it
clean.
said that the toxicology showed up
Oh, okay.
cocaine, fentanyl, and alcohol. So I have to imagine it was tainted
Yep.
cocaine. Because
More than likely.
usually you're not mixing fentanyl and fucking cocaine.
Most people aren't speedballing. And I mean, Gangsta Boo, she was like, she had a career, you know, like she did some shit in like the 90s and stuff like that, but like she was starting to come back, like with a feature on Run the Jewels, you know, 2 Run the Jewels records, I want to say, like putting out some other, like she was coming up in the world, and people were starting to recognize her for her talent and her placement in hip hop's like history, you know, and then she does. And so like there's something about that though. Like I hadn't experienced that a long time, where it's like an artist that you loved and then hearing a verse of theirs like after they died.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of like the last person that I did that with. I mean, Kamuteo, you know, like hearing Kamuteo's shit was like after he passed away. But like a lot of that was all, you know, a lot of it was unreleased. Either way, music brings the joy. Okay.
Music makes me lose control.
Well, and speaking of dancing and losing control and things like that, we have a friend of the podcast.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Riddle, aka Maxwell Cuddy, aka one half of Pink Opaque, aka Monotrope Music, aka one half of Belay.
Yep.
And Belay just dropped a new album. I was at their record release. There are some, as you can see, I've got multiple thumbs up here. You know, this album, it makes me happy.
Everything I've heard from it has been fire. I haven't checked the whole thing out.
Boundless and Mic'd Up were the two I was debating between. Boundless, in my opinion, is an all-time hit. Mic'd Up is just right in my pocket, and I really like it.
Man, and let's do more you. Let's do a more you flavored choice. Do Mic'd Up.
Okay, all right. We're doing Mic'd Up by Belay. This record just came out a couple months ago. Go listen to the whole thing. A multitude of subgenres of the EDMs, as we talked about with Ron, Drinks with Ron last time during his bracket and stuff like that. But here's the song. Talk soon. Till next time.
I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.